Good morning. Thank you very much to all of you for being here with us.
Today is time to talk about the real estate market, and the debt market for real estate properties is a very small world.
So, in terms of the current market situation, the role that public funding is playing, it has significantly increased. During the last few years, we have seen a number of unexpected events like the COVID pandemic, the Ukrainian war, and all the other events that are happening right now. This has requested an unprecedented response from the EU.
Today, the Spanish banks learned the lesson, and they are not enabling these alternative capital providers to profit from the shopping center situations. The Spanish banks are taking advantage of that this time around.
Basically, is a huge opportunity. Almost equity returns, but more important, with very low risk, much more capital now in this very difficult time of liquidity.
Double-digit financing, bridge loans with a focus on residential development. More than 90 billion of real estate loans to be refinanced in the next 2 years.
How are you going to play the game in Spain for the following years?
The banks were backing up the merging scenario that occurs in Spain. Central bank are shrinking their capabilities of financing.
Commercial banks have left like a huge gap between what they can finance and what can be financed.
The capital is going to be much more rewarded.
So basically we came to do what banks couldn't do. They weren't willing to take the risk.
What's going to happen with offices in the aftermath of COVID, and how retail is going to be turning into something much more aspirational.
There are a lot of news coming from the US in which working from home has empty most of the offices.
Yeah, and there are very good opportunities for shopping centers.
And we are being witness of this situation in the buy-side shopping centers we are working on.
The value of the building has decreased, and the appetite for banks has also decreased.
Our preference now is logistic, hotels, and co-living.
There is an increasing appetite for investors to develop new products.
And a small world that has to make an impact, has to make a bold step.
Incentives for the borrower to behave in a way that promotes positive impact.
The benefits of doing the right capex of the hotel to bring it to the next level of stars.
There are many different steps that you take to mitigate on the agreements, on the structure, on the guarantees, on everything. But at the end, it's how you feel in your stomach. I mean, this was a mix of good asset, very solid sponsors.
We need to be very selective on the asset classes. We consider it's very important to have people on the ground, local knowledge, being very selective, because we consider that for grade A with the latest technical and environmental standard. So for us, it was a very good asset, also because of the strong sponsor.
The value, these are indicators of future value of the asset and also the efficiency of the operation.
Thank TY because you do an excellent work. So it's a good thing to do these gatherings because it gives us a chance to meet up and exchange views on the market.
The message is that nothing in the world is impermanent. It's time to resist, it's time to endure, waiting for a best momentum to negotiate again. It's that simple. Low risk and opportunity of returns. Take advantage of that. Thank you very much to the team that helped us out to conduct this telescope.